when I make ridiculous comments, it
Yeah.
just brings back memories to you of what you went through all those years. Mike D'Antoni joins us now, the Houston Rockets head coach. Thrilled to have him on with us, two-time NBA head coach of the year. Mike, thanks so much for the time today on Golic and Wingo. You said after last night's game your team lacked energy and focus. Why do you think that is, Coach?
Well, I think it's just, or they had more. It's you talk about all the good things, try to get in that, zone where you perform at the highest level. We just didn't do it now, all kinds of reasons, and it does happen. They played better than we did, so we got to get it back. And, actually, you look at the game, they probably did what we do, pick and rolls and ISOs better than we did. So they deserve to win it. Now we'll go to Utah and see if we can get one.
When you look at, obviously, series sports like this where it can go as many as 7 or as few as 4, but still at least 4, how much falls into the X's and O's part of a series or a managing rest and other things, expectations?
It's all connected. I don't think there's one more than the other. Most teams are playing their best and doing their best, and they put on the floor X's and O's, what they do. And, you don't come up all of a sudden, play zones or do something you've never done. So you just try to get them to play it. You make little adjustments all the time, or maybe about rotations or somebody plays a little longer or matchups. But other than that, we do what we do. We're going to shoot threes, and they do what they do. And we just got to guard it better. We just got to do a better job of getting into them and not getting them confidence and getting them loose. They got loose on us.
So along those lines, just to be specific, Joe Ingles goes for a career-high 27. Nothing really X's and O's wise changes on that, just what we're supposed to be doing when it comes to him. You have to do better?
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't anything that they didn't ISO him or he just standing over the side. Donovan Mitchell broke us down a couple times on bad switches, and then they found him wide open. And then he made a couple hard shots that give him credit for. A little combination of everything, but it's not like they ran a play for him. They don't have a lot of plays because we switch everything. So most of it is individual defense, getting into people and not letting them get by you. And we didn't do that yesterday.
Donovan Mitchell certainly has been great for the Jazz, Coach. How would you describe his game? I think not enough people appreciate how good he was in the regular season. Now everybody's aware of it, particularly your team now as you try to defend him.
Yeah, I mean, he's as good as two guard that there is in the league. I know he's a rookie, and you can say, well, this and that. No, you watch him play, and you watch his talent level, you watch his ability. He's as good as anybody at any stage of the game, and he's going to be phenomenal for, next 10, 15 years.
As far as the team overall, going back to the regular season to now, when you have the best record in the conference, the expectations grow and grow and grow. Is that discussed by players, by you two players, or just where the expectations are?
No, we don't. Everybody knows that. It's like everybody has expectations of getting to the finals or winning it or whatever when you start out. Then it kind of weeds itself out to the top 5 or 6 teams. Everybody has expectations to try to win it all, knowing that it's a difficult road and there'll be ups and downs, and you try to stay even keel. But no, you don't really have to discuss that. It's like, hey guys, we need to. Well, really? They look at me like I've lost my mind. They understand what's at stake. And Chris Paul, James Harden, they've been criticized for not getting very far. I've been criticized, so we all know. But at the same time, you don't lose perspective of, that's we call that a little bit white noise out there, and we don't. We just try to focus on what we need to do.
Talk right now with Houston Rockets head coach Mike D'Antoni on Golic and Wingo, ESPN Radio and ESPN News. It was so funny, Coach. I know some people were skeptical about Harden and Paul on the same team. Both guys have to have the ball, and then you were so smart and saying, well, listen, I can mix and match. I can do different things. I can bring a guy off the bench, etc. What's your reaction been to just how good those two have flowed together and what you've been able to see from those two stars?
Well, it's what we imagined, the front office and us putting it together, that the basic thing is you got 2 Hall of Fame guards that can, play off the ball, on the ball, and they want to share the ball and they want to make it work. So when they balled in, it was really a no-brainer. And we haven't had any hiccups whatsoever from day one. They've just meshed and done the right, because they both play the right way in the sense, if you're open, they'll pass it. If not, they'll shoot. And they're great one-on-one players. And there's just a lot of things they bring to the game, and then above all, just the willingness to share the ball and to share the limelight and try to get wins.
Mike D'Antoni, head coach of the Houston Rockets, joining us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. My sport of football, you get to the playoffs, it's one and done. Win, move on, you lose, and you're into the offseason. Again, in a series sport, how quickly do you put away a game like this, or how much do you use it before the next game?
Well, we'll use it. We'll use every breakdown that we had and try to get that better, no doubt. But mentally, and we say it all the time, even during the regular season, our motto here is, so what, what's next? So we got beat. Can they beat us 3 more times? That's the whole bottom line. They might, but it's not. Don't dwell on the last one. We're not changing the result. So we try to stay even keel. We don't get too high with wins. We don't get too low with losses. Figure out what we need to do better, then go out and try it again. And if that doesn't work, then try it again. So, there's a lot of things that we'll adjust to and switch up a lot of little things and just get things better.
Yeah, outside of Eric Gordon, Coach, you didn't get much production from the bench. Is that a point of emphasis going into Game 3?
Well, I mean, it always is in a sense. You would like for them to make shots and do things, but we're not going to. You don't. I don't know how you would do that. It's always a point of emphasis. We've had a great bench, and I expect them to come through in a lot of different areas in the next game. But again, you play your game and you do the best you can do.
It's been a great ride so far, and best of luck against the Jazz and moving forward after that. Mike D'Antoni, the Houston Rockets. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, listen, I'm glad that he came on with us, first of all.
Yeah.
After a loss.
Coming after a loss.
That was great.
And again, listen, it's a loss where they shot 27% from threes. That's where they live. They live with making threes and attempts on threes. I'll say it again, though, with Utah, just to take it down to the player level. Mm-hmm. Everybody saw that Mitchell slam last night, that the announcers lost their mind, the Utah announcers. Everybody's like, wow, that was unreal. Yeah. Mitchell put it up, went off the front rim, followed his shot, and then slammed it. And after the game, the 4 of the Utah Jazz were in a presser, and Joe Ingles, again, who had 27 points, a career high, was asked, and Mitchell had said, it went through my mind to go ahead and slam it while it was in the air.
Right.
So Joe Ingles was asked, what was on your mind? What were you thinking when you saw Mitchell doing that? It was in the air and slammed it. And this is great coming from a player. He says, my thought was he's supposed to be getting back in transition defense. You always yell about players following their shot,
right?
But they're supposed to get back. Right. He shot, not following it so much as getting back for you miss the rebound. You don't let the team, get a quick transition basket. You get back in transition defense. So his thought was, instead of doing all that, get back in transition defense. And he said, and that's exactly what the coach is going to talk about in film. So while everybody is just lauding this incredibly athletic, I made the decision in the air to slam it. The player side of it was, should have been getting back